Okay, so get this.
You handed us these forum posts and game logs.
And it's from what sounds like just the most intriguing text-based RPG ever. We're talking cryptic clues, philosophical debates.
A world called Annir that seems to warp reality itself.
What's fascinating is how these players,
They grapple with questions of identity, purpose, even the nature of time.
both within the game and outside it,
Right.
the line blurs in a way that makes you wonder what's really real.
Right.
The source material itself is fragmented, like we're piecing together an ancient artifact.
But that's part of the fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
This deep dive is all about unraveling the enigma of Annir.
And I have a feeling we're in for one heck of a ride.
Indeed, from what I've gathered.
Annir is shrouded in danger, a place where...
The evil within you may prevail, as the game ominously warns.
Okay, that motto alone.
That's enough to send chills down my spine.
It's like the game designers wanted to mess with their players' heads from the get-go.
So before we dive into the nitty-gritty, paint us a picture of this world.
What do we know about Annir based on these logs?
Imagine a realm where time is fluid,
Memories are unreliable.
and your deepest fears have a way of manifesting in unexpected ways.
It's a place of ancient ruins, whispering shadows.
What a pervasive sense of unease.
The players describe it as both beautiful and terrifying.
A landscape that shifts and changes as if it has a life of its own.
And within this world,
We have our players right.
right?
Tell me about these characters who are bravely, or perhaps foolishly, venturing into Annir.
We have quite the cast of characters.
There's Linaar, the paladin.
He's on a mysterious quest, seemingly guided by forces he doesn't fully understand. Then there's Eric the mage,
Haunted by fragmented memories and visions.
struggling to maintain his sanity.
And don't forget, Arana, the Age.
Now, I know you're probably wondering what an OA is.
It's an old word often translated as priestess, but with deeper spiritual connotations, like a mystic or an oracle.
Exactly.
And Arana certainly fits that description.
She's shrouded in secrecy, seemingly aware of things the others aren't.
And her connection to a mysterious entity called the Shadow is particularly intriguing.
Okay, so we've got a paladin, a mage with memory problems.
And a cryptic priestess. I'm already hooked.
Who else is along for this wild ride?
We also have Aaron, the stoic warrior, always loyal.
Elenor, known for her wisdom and her sharp observations.
And then there's a beacon whose cynicism seems to mask a keen intellect.
And presiding over this motley crew is the enigmatic GM known only as Archmage of Annir, right?
Right.
What's his deal?
Is he trying to torture these players?
From what I can gather, the GM seems to favor a very hands-off approach,
Dropping cryptic hints like breadcrumbs.
and allowing the players to piece together the larger narrative or drive themselves crazy trying.
It's like that saying, give a man a puzzle and you entertain him for a day.
Teach a man a puzzle and you entertain him for a lifetime.
Yeah.
But in this case, the puzzle might just drive them mad
That's the brilliance of it.
by refusing to provide clear answers or dictate the narrative.
The GM forces the players to become active interpreters of the world around them.
They question everything, they analyze every detail.
And they constantly try to decipher the rules of this ever-shifting game.
Okay, so we've got a creepy setting, a cast of complex characters.
And a dungeon master who enjoys playing mind games.
But what's the story here?
What's the central mystery that has these players so captivated?
One recurring motif is the black oval.
It appears in their visions.
It's etched onto ancient structures.
It even haunts their dreams.
The players themselves debate its meaning.
Is it a symbol of destruction?
A portal to another realm.
Or something else entirely?
It's like the black oval is a giant question mark at the center of the game.
Drawing the characters and the players deeper into the mystery.
Precisely.
And then there's the destruction of Tarkamil.
A catastrophic event that looms over the narrative. This wasn't just some random occurrence.
Tarkamil was a major dwarven hub, a center of industry and prosperity.
Before it vanished, leaving a void in its wake.
So we have this ominous symbol and a cataclysmic event.
How are they connected?
And how do our intrepid heroes even begin to unravel what happened?
That's where things get really interesting.
We see the players grappling with fragmented memories
Distorted timelines.
and a pervasive sense that things are not as they seem,
It's like the very fabric of reality is unraveling.
both within the game and potentially in their own lives.
Wait, hold on.
Are you saying the game might be bleeding into their reality?
That's a whole other level of creepy.
Let's just say the lines get blurry.
For example, there's a passage where one player describes feeling like they're losing their grip on time.
Like their memories are fading, mirroring what their character experiences within Annir.
Okay, that's more than a little unsettling.
And what about those metagame discussions you mentioned earlier?
The ones where the players break the fourth wall and talk about the game itself.
Ah, yes.
Those discussions are incredibly revealing.
The players openly express their frustration with the game's ambiguity.
Their attempts to decipher the GM's intentions.
Even their doubts about the nature of reality itself.
So they're not just playing the game.
They're analyzing it, dissecting it.
Trying to understand the why behind it all.
Exactly.
And those conversations often mirror the philosophical debates happening within the game itself.
For instance, the players grapple with the idea of free will versus predetermined outcomes.
Questioning whether their characters truly have agency or if their destinies are already written.
It's like they're stuck in a hall of mirrors.
Trying to figure out which reflection is real.
And the GM, this Archmage of Annir,
he remains silent throughout these debates.
no explanations, no clarifications.
Just more cryptic pronouncements that deepen the mystery.
Talk about adding fuel to the fire.
But it's kind of brilliant when you think about it.
He's turned the game itself into a reflection of the very questions it raises.
Free will.
Meaning.
It's all there swirling around them both inside the game and out.
Precisely.
And that brings us back to the destruction of Tarkamil.
This event isn't just a plot point.
It's a microcosm of the larger themes at play.
Okay, I'm ready to dive deeper into this Tarkamil situation.
Give me the rundown.
Imagine a bustling city, a testament to dwarven ingenuity and craftsmanship.
Suddenly wiped off the map.
Some players believe it was a magical catastrophe.
A force beyond anyone's control.
Others suspect something more sinister.
Like what?
Sabotage.
A curse.
Did someone accidentally open a portal to the abyss and unleash a horde of demons?
Don't hold back. Give me the wildest theories.
Well, some players speculate that the Black Oval might be involved.
It appeared around the same time as the disaster.
And there are whispers of a prophecy, a warning that the Black Oval heralds destruction.
Okay, that tracks.
But we were talking about how the game bleeds into reality.
How does Tarkamil fit into that?
Remember how the players themselves were feeling fragmented, disconnected?
Like their own lives were unraveling.
Well, their descriptions eerily echo the aftermath of Tarkamil.
It's like they're experiencing a personal version of that same sense of loss and disruption.
Whoa.
So the destruction of the city isn't just a game event.
It's a metaphor for something happening to the players on a psychological level.
That's heavy stuff.
And it gets even more interesting when you consider the players' individual experiences.
Take Linaar, for example.
He's on this quest, drawn to a place called the Castle of the Red Knight.
Okay, that name alone screams danger.
What's the deal with this castle?
It's shrouded in mystery.
But Linaar feels this almost primal pull towards it.
He experiences visions of the castle, feels its presence in his dreams.
Yet he also seems terrified of what he might find there.
It's like that saying, we are most drawn to the things that scare us the most.
What do you make of Linaar's connection to this spooky castle?
It suggests a deeper connection to Annir than he realizes.
Remember those fragmented memories we discussed?
Linaar has them too.
And they seem to revolve around the Castle of the Red Knight.
It's like he's caught in a loop, reliving fragments of a past life.
Or perhaps a possible future.
Time travel.
Alternate timelines.
Are we about to go full sci-fi on this fantasy RPG?
Perhaps.
But let's not forget Eric, the mage haunted by visions.
He keeps mentioning a name. Orkins.
It's unclear if Orkins is a person, a place, or some entity tied to his past.
But the name fills him with a mixture of dread and longing.
It's like a ghost from his past.
Or maybe a piece of himself he's trying to forget.
And then there's that incident with the magical ring.
It seemed to amplify Eric's powers.
But it also took control of him?
Forcing him to act against his will.
Whoa, that's messed up.
It's like the game itself is testing him, pushing him to his limits.
And let's not forget Arana, the enigmatic Ujiri.
She seems to understand Annir on a deeper level than the others.
Sensing the subtle shifts in reality, the whispers of forgotten powers.
Right.
We talked about her connection to the shadow.
Which is still giving me serious chills, by the way.
What have we learned about that?
There's a scene where Arana finds a hidden diary.
Seemingly belonging to someone named Annigal.
After reading it, she collapses, overwhelmed by
Information overload.
a psychic attack.
Did she just download the secrets of the universe into her brain?
The suspense is killing me.
The logs only mention that she woke up changed.
Her eyes filled with a strange new knowledge.
From that point on, her pronouncements become even more cryptic.
Her actions more deliberate.
It's like she's playing a different game now.
One with rules only she understands.
And that's what makes Annir so fascinating.
It's a game within a game.
A puzzle box where each layer reveals a new level of complexity and unsettling possibilities.
Okay, I'm dying to know.
Are we any closer to solving this enigma?
Has we pieced together enough clues to understand what Annir is?
Or what it all means?
That's the thing about truly great mysteries.
They leave you with more questions than answers.
But I think we're getting closer to understanding the heart of it.
All right, lay it on me.
What have we learned about Annir?
What makes this game world so unique, so captivating, so downright creepy?
Annir isn't just a game world, it's a reflection of the players themselves.
Their fears, their desires.
Their deepest questions about reality and purpose.
It all gets amplified and distorted within Annir,
It's like Annir is holding up a mirror to these players.
forcing them to confront aspects of themselves they might not want to see.
Exactly.
And the GM, with his cryptic pronouncements and hands-off approach,
He's the one holding the mirror.
but he's not giving them any easy answers.
He's forcing them to find their own meaning, even if it's terrifying or unsettling.
Which brings us back to those unsolved mysteries.
We've touched on the Black Oval, the destruction of Tarkamil, the fragmented memories.
There's a lot to process.
What are the biggest questions we're left with?
The most pressing question is whether Annir was intentionally designed this way.
Did the GM, this archmage of Andor,
Meticulously plan every detail, every cryptic clue, every unsettling event,
or did the game take on a life of its own?
evolving organically into something beyond his control?
It's like that line from Jurassic Park.
Life finds a way.
Maybe Annir found a way to become something more than just a game.
And if it did,
What does that say about the player's experiences?
are they truly in control of their characters' destinies?
Or are they pawns in a larger game manipulated by forces they don't understand?
That's a question that has haunted philosophers for centuries.
Free will versus determinism.
It's enough to make your head spin.
Well, let's not forget about the shadow that Arana, our enigmatic OA,
It seems so connected to
is it a force for good or evil?
a deity.
A manifestation of Annir itself.
We only get glimpses, but it's clearly a powerful and potentially dangerous entity.
Okay, so we have a game world that might be alive,
A GM who may or may not be pulling the strings.
and a mysterious entity lurking in the shadows.
It's like the perfect recipe for a horror movie or an existential crisis.
Or both.
But that's the beauty of Annir, isn't it?
It's a mystery that stays with you long after the game is over.
It makes you question your own perception of reality,
The choices you make.
the very nature of your own existence.
So what does it all mean?
What's the takeaway from this deep dive into the enigmatic world of Annir?
I think the real value lies not in finding definitive answers.
But in embracing the questions.
Annir reminds us that reality is often subjective, that our perceptions shape our experiences.
And that sometimes the most unsettling journeys lead to the most profound self-discoveries.
Well said.
And on that note, dear listener, we leave you to ponder the mysteries of Annir.
If you were a player trapped in that enigmatic world, what would you do?
Would you search for answers, embrace the chaos, or try to escape altogether?
The choice as always is yours.
And the mystery, like Annir itself, endures.
Until next time on The Deep Dive, keep exploring, keep questioning, and never stop searching for the extraordinary in the everyday.